I want to give a huge shout out and a thank you to my sponsor, P2 Collectibles and Gentlemen Sports Cards, located at 204 East McGalley Road here in Muncie, Indiana. So next time you're here in Muncie, let us know. Come give us a visit.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Marcus Brethren, and I just came back from my regional in Indianapolis today. Alex had a dash, and he did a deck profile of my dinosaur deck that had no yang zings, no synchros, no nothing. And he wanted to profile it and get a combo video, but he had to dash because he had some responsibilities before we could get the combo video, so that's what this is now. And let's just get right into it. And I just want to first talk about a little bit about the theory. So the entire deck literally revolves around drawing just basically diagramming a baby, and there's like so many ways you can get it. This could be Oviraptor, it could be in any number of things. Just get these in your hand, and then basically there's like so many different ways to get a baby. Yeah, super good. So let me just show you what I can do with 2 cards, and then I'm going to show you what I can do with 3. And the third card has to be Miscellaneous Source in hand. But if it's Miscellaneous Source in hand, it's just really, really strong. And you can also open up with like that in a Fossil Dig, and the Fossil Dig searches the miss or something else. So it gets pretty crazy. Anyway, let's start off. So let's say we do have our Fossil Dig and Terraforming. We play them. We get Diagram and our baby. Summon, play Diagram, activate its effect, destroy our baby. And then we're going to summon out our Oviraptor, which nets us our second baby. Summon, effect, destroy, bring it back. Summon out Petite Pterodon. Now, it's extremely important that you summon Petite Pterodon because you do not want to be getting all of these guys out of deck. You want to be getting as many of these as possible because this deck has a lot of good follow-up play that basically repeats this combo and OTKs and kills your opponent or locks them further out of the game. So, when you activate a Diagram, because I'm bad and I forget that all the time, you actually end up adding Lithysogem, which I forgot at the beginning of this combo video. And then you summon Lithysogem, destroying these 2 babies. You get to banish the 3 cards out of the extra deck that you choose. And this is where the crux of the play comes. You get to summon out Giant Rex and Miscellaneousaurus. Now, I can't tell you how many times today when I got to this board, my opponents looked at me as if I was some kind of crazy person because they had no idea what I was doing from here. From here, you send these 2 cards off to the grave for Mrs. Radiant. And Mrs. Radiant, as you know, gives us 2 link zones, and Lithysogem and the Giant Rex of Earth, and you overlay the Oviraptor for a card that can detach a material, and usually in this you'll choose Dweller. Now this could be anything that can detach a material. It could be Gaga Cowboy. I won a game. I won my last game of my last round because of this card, so it's super good and relevant. Cowboy for game. You could add Samurai if you're trying to push for more damage and you need to combo more. Tornado Dragon if you need to remove some pesky back row. Ragnarock if you want to get rid of a monster. And then Dweller if you're just going first, because Dweller's a good going first card. And so then you detach just for Dweller's effect, even though they're probably not even going to have anything. But the real trick is dismiss, because you have 5 babies plus that, and you want to leave the last baby. You'll banish for 4. And you can either summon out another miss or Tyranno Infinity, one or the other. Sometimes it's best to choose miss. Other times it's best to choose Tyranno Infinity. It depends on who you're playing and the game state that you're in. But if you're going first, it's probably best that you summon miss. And then your Giant Rex will proc, bringing back himself, because he was banished. And keep in mind you have 3 cards banished if you ever get Tyranno Infinity, which you can. And then you'll build the overlay for your Logia. So that's the basic idea of the 2-card combo. And this board is actually a lot better than it looks. 1, Dweller on your draw phase is really good against True Dracos. And it's also good against just basically anything else that wants to resolve in the graveyard, like Invocation, things like that. And then you have Yugioh, who negates the summons, and I cannot tell you how good this card is against Zoo. It's single-handedly, every time they just normal summoned, I negated the summon, And then the second combo, which nets you a second Logia, if they play Barrage, I negated that, then they just pass because they didn't have anything. So that's the combo with just Diagram and one baby. And I will show you the next combo, which is if you have Diagram, a baby, and Miss in hand, or a way to get Miss in hand, which there's lots of ways to get Miss in hand in this deck. And then I'll also show you the follow-up Catastrophe that will pretty much annihilate your opponent. So, Diagram. Discard Miss. Activate Diagram effect, destroy the baby. Effect to summon Overraptor. Effect of Overraptor to add baby, just like we did before. Rinse, wash, repeat. Destroy, bring back. Effect to summon Petite Pterodon. And like I did earlier, Lithysogem. Never forget this Lithysogem. After you activate Diagram, its effect, it's mandatory for you to search it anyway, because that's what you did. And just make sure that you guys get it. So then, anyway, you'll summon your Lithysogem, like you usually do. And then you'll summon out Giant Rex and Miscellaneousaurus. Now, the reason why this is a lot different from the first combo, because it looks the same, is because the Miss was already discarded to the graveyard. So this time when you sync up from, sync up, that's pretty much what they do, but it's not link up for Mrs. Radiant. Your Miss is already in the graveyard for you to execute your next combo play. So you'll build the overlay for Logia, and then you'll detach, you'll banish. Look at me, I'm tired. You'll banish these 4 for your next level 4, which can either be another Miscellaneousaurus, but I generally like to get Tyranno Infinity. And then the Giant Rex will come back, and then you'll end the board with either Logia, Dolka, or what I generally did today was double Logia. And this just tended to be the better board, and I just tended to need to do it more. I usually didn't go into Dolka until I ran into the mirror, and I knew that I was going to be negating like a Miss and a baby or something like that. So I just kind of want to run some theory by you all, and I just want to kind of explain why this is extremely good. So double Logia, you'll detach, let's say you negate your summon, and then you negate like a spell card or something that's like imperative. And then you have just basically nothing. There's nothing really that your board's kind of looking like it's in shambles, but it's actually not because of Diagram and Mrs. Radiant. So let's say somehow you stalled them enough and your stuff stayed. You activate Diagram, you pop this, an effect will search you the fire guy if you wanted to, and Mrs. Radiant can add you Tyranno Infinity. And then you can then banish the 4 cards that are left in your dinosaur graveyard as dinosaurs for another Overraptor, which will net you a search of a Conductor Tyranno, and then Giant Rex will come back. So, on top of what you draw, you just went like +3, and the card you're now going to summon, which is Agnimazud over here, is going to absolutely push your opponent's teeth in by banishing a monster, and Tyranno Infinity now has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,000 attack. And I literally won so many games today because of this. You could also go and build the overlay into, let's say, Tornado Dragon or Cowboy if somehow it didn't finish your opponent off, which this did come up. I attacked somebody for 5,000, put them down to 400 life points, and then made Cowboy in my last round for game. So there is just so much comeback potential off this one card resolving on the next turn, and your opponent will not recover. It's really insane. Anyway, that's pretty much the combo. I just want to thank, first off, my wife for supporting me in this regional. I want to thank Larry for letting me borrow the Ash Blossoms and the playtesting. Also, shout-outs to Adam, Caleb, Brandon, and Derek, and anybody else who's just been a great help in the testing process for this regional. That allowed me to get my first top 13 and my first ever invite to Nats. I hope you guys enjoyed the combos. Alex, see you probably soon at a locals, and to everybody else, see you later.